adofo bebree a yɛwɔ aburokyire sɛ ɛba ne sɛ bi a yɛkɔ Ghana na wopɛ sɛ wodi dwuma bi a nkanka dwuma yɛfa business ho ne adeɛ afutu wobɛnya afutu because ɛwɔ sɛ woyɛ research na wobusabusam na adeɛ ɛtae te paa ne sɛ Ghana deɛ dabi wontumi nyɛ business mmra a wote baabi ɛwɔ sɛ wɔwɔ hɔ ɛfi sɛ wode w'adwuma ɛhyɛ obi nsa a ɛyɛ den paa sɛ wobɛnya nipa papa a ɔbɛhwɛ w'adwuma so ama wo a nipa no ɛbɛdi ne kora turodoo na kyɛ sɛ biribiara akɔ so sɛ ɛyɛ ɛdan na wosie sɛ ɛyɛ business bi na wastarte sɛ ɛyɛ kuayɔ na woyɛ and you would get a lot of these stories. I'm sure say adofo a more sharing right now no some of you may have that experiences especially more and more approach me ankasa me nua no mpanyimfo mienu ɛwɔ sɛ esua ho ni no baako ɛkɔ a couple of years ago or take a huge sums of money ɛkɔ or the share a kuayom senka okudua mo no ne ade ho mfidie ne ade moto ye and so because of say oni who a ujai chire edimo obi nti in a few months time no na che say bibia ye basa sika odiko share mo no entimi ama back. You may argue that there may be other factors, but the primary reasons why it was quite disheartening. All right, Mommy, let me not do this alone. Mommy, family nearby Embra stage, so now hello, Adwoa.
Hi, look at you. You have gotten to just jump on the line.
I know, right?
I haven't actually done lives in a long time. So.
Okay, no, I have been doing live.
You on TikTok. Yes. You're a TikTok king.
I've been TikToking, but I've not done Facebooking. God knows how many years now. So
yeah, but then if TikTok is working for you, why are you coming back on Facebook?
Well, just thinking I should spread my tentacles and then get back. I used to do Facebook. So I remember during the COVID era, I did a lot of Facebook and the content was very, very different. I was focused more on gospel music in terms of Ghanaian gospel, empowering emerging gospel artists, giving the platform to them, stirring up industry conversations, and so it was quite exciting. But then after a while, I don't know, it looks like I was not really feeling the engagement. I got a bit laid back for that, and then I switched on to TikTok. But TikTok has been amazing because the intervention that we've had there in terms of immigration, it's phenomenal. Like people have actually receive life transformation just because of the program that we do on TikTok. So we are really grateful for that.
Amazing. I need to come and learn one or two from you on TikTok actually. I did actually put a TikTok message earlier and I was thinking of directing it to you, how do you guys deal with people just messaging you? I don't know because if I'm a lady, but anyway, people just message you, hi. I'm like, just say what you need to say. Like, I don't have the time. Like, just tell me, hi, Adwoa, I want to know you, whatever. Like, but don't say hi and wait for me to respond. I don't have the time.
You know what? I don't know. People might not like this, but I dare say that it's something common with our people. In fact, on my TikTok program, I have consciously announced that over and over and over. Because sometimes my personal phone number that I work with is actually online so that people can reach, have information if I need to signpost some of the guests that I bring on the show, etc. etc. So they have my phone number. Instead of maybe coming and say, oh, maybe hello, so and so, I got your number from this, I need XYZ. Hi.
The way for you to just I think they just want you to be there live. Like you're like, you've got things to do.
Absolutely.
You can't.
Absolutely.
So it happens to you as well, because I thought because I was a lady.
No. It cuts across. I mean, it cuts across. So everywhere, TikTok, wherever that people message you, you get the hi, hello, the pleasantries that can go on and on and on. Some will even ask, the food you've eaten today and all that kind of thing. Just
please.
Right. Adwoa, good to have you on. So, which one are you comfortable with, English or Twi or mixer?
It depends. When I feel to flow in tree, but English is good. English is a
English is good.
good, yeah.
Okay, so let's have this conversation quickly. We're not going to spend too much time.
Sure.
You saw the post that Kabina Daku put out. It stirred a lot of conversation. In fact, I'm looking at it now. I brought it on the screen earlier. It has over 200 messages as we speak.
Oh, fantastic.
Yes. And it's a mixture of messages where some people agree with him and say that, oh, you guys abroad, you are too no. You know that narrative. You always think you are better, that kind of things. And those who are also staying abroad, the diasporans are pushing back and they are saying, you guys, we have experiences. We are talking from real life experiences. The systems here, even if you are dishonest, the systems will whip you in line. And there are certain behaviors that you will learn and conform. But it's not so in Ghana. The controls are just porous. So you can do things and just get away with it. So it's quite difficult for people to maintain that discipline when they need to actually bring that to bear on businesses and whatever venture that they do. But what do you think?
Go on. You said, what do you think? Were you going to say something else?
Yeah, I wanted to say introduce yourself first because I want people to. Yeah, so introduce yourself first and tell us what you think about this post.
Sure. So for those that don't know me, my name is Adwoa Agyeman. I'm known as the Super Connector. I run a network called Ghanaian Londoners Network, and we've been doing that since 2009. Where we bring professional Ghanaians together, entrepreneurs together to network, to exchange ideas and look at opportunities both here in the UK and back home. Also, as part of context, I wrote a book on moving to Ghana, 10 practical ways, because I actually went out to Ghana and lived out there full time for at least 10 years. Now I'm in between. Yeah, I'm now in between. So, this kind of diaspora conversations is something that I love sort of to have. But I mean, just an opener on the question, what I would say is that, to be honest, I don't think it's one cup fit all sort of thing. I think that both Ghanaians abroad and back home all have their issues of being dishonest, and not everybody, but there's an element of it, because at the end of the day, it's the same Ghanaians that left Ghana and came abroad. So when we talk about elements of dishonesty, it is in the blood to some extent. However, what I would say is that from a diaspora perspective as well, I think that I have to sometimes blame us diasporans. I'll give an example and I'll say why I blame us and why we might think that they are, it's sometimes we don't understand some of the difficulties on the ground to get things done. Okay. Things are not as straightforward as it is, here, where you can, that, if you jump on an email, somebody will respond to you, right? Sometimes in Ghana, jumping on an email, you never really get a response. You have to physically go.
Let me give you a quick example before you continue on the email stuff. So I bank with one of the biggest banks in Ghana, right?
Okay.
And for somewhere last week, I tried accessing my internet banking. It wasn't working. And I contacted a gentleman who is more like a personal banker to me. He works there. And I said, oh, my internet banking is not working. He gave me an email, said contact customer service. And I emailed customer service. Guess what? They just came back. That's over a week ago. They just came back to me this afternoon. But I mean, thankfully, I know someone who is high up the hierarchy. So I just messaged this person. I was like, yo, bro, Charlie, my internet banking is not working. And then within a space of maybe 10 minutes or so, he's liaised with their team, internet banking team, and they've sorted it out. But guess what? The customer service came back to me after about how many days? About 5 days.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you listen. This is typical, and it's really, really on the ground. Like these things do happen. And what I was trying to say was that, of course, we've had too many, painful stories. People losing money and
Yes.
because of dishonesty. But the point I was trying to make with that is that we diasporans as well are to be blamed because, for example, how can you in this UK that we are in, or any part of Europe? Can you go and buy a property without involving a lawyer? Have you ever done that before?
No, it's not possible.
Exactly. So why is it that we think we can go back home, we don't live there, to go and buy a property, land, without not involving any professionals in it to draw up contracts? And this whole thing of expectation of relying on friends, family on the ground to help us to do this when they are not professionals, right? So all of these help to fuel the dishonesty and everything else that comes into. So that's my perspective. My perspective is that if we in the diaspora also begin to do the right things, which there are systems on the ground in Ghana that accommodates doing the right thing, right? Then we won't find ourselves in that issue where we think that, we're more honest than people back home. I mean, I cited the example of the land because I do sell land. I always say to people, listen, even because I sell land and you know me, doesn't mean you should trust my word for it. I want to give you the due, diligence for you to go through. However, a Ghana man based abroad will tell you, oh, my uncle, I know my uncle B, he's got something. Then they'll bypass you and then go and give money to the uncle. The uncle will go and secure a plot of land, and we all know what will happen after the plot of land. They haven't done no due diligence. The owners will come, back for it. So, in a nutshell, all I'm saying is that we cannot really say that, we think that we're better than them or they are better than us. We all have our own issues. And I think that we need to look at a way that we can all work together and that, we don't get, bitten.
Ajahn, let me look at this two dimensional. So the first one being the norms and cultural practices of how we do some of these things. You cited example of land, so let me stay there. Typically and culturally, how we have known land to be acquired from way back is when you need to maybe go to some chief, those kind of things. So people generally don't use the laid down processes to do these things, and we are so used to that. So even when we have been exposed, we've traveled outside and we have been exposed to the right way of doing things, just because it's the system that prevails in the new environment we find ourselves. When we go back, we think that it's easier to use what we were used to. Now, the other side of it is the bureaucracy and the red tapes that are associated with getting some of these things done. So, I mean, typically, if you have lived outside the country, you are a diasporan, lived in the US, UK, and all these other places, the way things are done are pretty straightforward, no time wasting. The system moves very quickly. So, if you think about having to go through all these red tapes in Ghana, sometimes having to pay again, people just by decide to do the job that they've already been paid to do. It's like, okay, let me just go through the shortcut. And that is when their hands get bent. So my question is, how do we, for diasporans, how do we begin to reorient ourselves or have this mind shift from the old way things used to be before we left Ghana to realizing that, okay, now in Ghana, these systems are available and they work. Let me go through them. And how do we even access these systems?
Very, very good question. And I'm happy of the different, examples and the narrative you posted. So one thing I would like to say, first of all, is the fact that us in the diaspora think that the red tape only affects us in the diaspora. The red tape affects everybody, whether you are in Tamale to Accra back to us in London. So we have to understand that the difficulty with doing things on the ground is applicable to all Ghanaians. And that's where we need to do more to try and, streamline things for things to work better. So better governance, obviously, us citizens also pushing government to have better systems in place that can accommodate. Over the years, things have improved. And we must also, give props that things have improved. There are some things, especially with the land issue, there are some things that you can actually sit back home and do online and receive feedback online, not necessarily having to, go and pay somebody. So things are improving slowly. To also answer the question around, so my question always is that why would you want to take a shortcut that will cost you maybe 10 times more than going through the normal long due process, right? Okay. So what I was, in terms of having the mind shift, is look at it this way. How is it that I can get things done here in the diaspora in an organized, professional, legit way? And how can I implement similar back home? You can actually, because there are systems for that. If you do, so for example, this land issue you're talking about, if I cite an example of how to do it properly, if you want to buy a land, you've seen a land, fantastic. What you need to do first of all is, to think to yourself, maybe I don't have the time. Can I get a lawyer that deals with land to have a look at it for me? There are some law firms out there that actually have the facility to actually send somebody off to go and have a look at the land for you, for example. Then what they also help you to do is they will help you to do all the searches as well for you to confirm that whoever is selling the land is who they say they are. The purchase agreement for the land and everything will go through the lawyer. So the lawyer will act in your interest. So the lawyer, the money that you've been paid to the client can go through your lawyer, because literally it's a property. It's a legal, thing that you're doing. It's a legal transaction. So you need that legal backing. So the lawyer can go through that and make sure that that is done. So for example, if the lawyer, you employ a lawyer brings on like a surveyor, for example, and you go through all that process, the lawyer will not spot an issue and say to you, go and pay your money, right? So for example, when we deal with, when we are helping people to buy land, we say to them, at no point should you give anybody any money. If you see a pressure for give me money, and you haven't gone ahead to do your due diligence, then do not give anybody any money. But here's the case where we are always in the rush because of shortcuts. We're going to lose it. We just pick and we send our money to people, and we end up getting scammed. Okay. So to say that, you need to look at it from the perspective of there must be a professional laid down way for me to get this service down. Now, I'll give you another challenge. Another challenge with this professional way of doing it is that it will cost you a little bit more. And sometimes in our effort to save money, we want to cut things. So it might be that, again, the service of a lawyer will cost you maybe £1,000 extra. It's better for you to lose £1,000 than to lose £10,000 on buying a land.
That's true. That's true. So with what you are saying, the point is be indemnified, right? If you get a professional to act on your behalf, you are indemnified right from the word go. And there are some safeguards that are in place with what we are doing. Okay. Adwoa, let's look at doing business in Ghana. You lived in Ghana for 10 years. Did you start up any businesses at all?
Oh, yes, I did. I did start up businesses. I was involved in a couple of businesses. So yeah, I kind of understand some of the challenges on the ground. Again, I will go back and say that the challenges are not just unique to diasporans. They are also the same challenges that the Ghanaians that are homegrown, that have never left the continent, are facing as well. But yeah, because I know your next question will be about the challenges and people being dishonest. And listen, you can be in Ghana, live your whole life in Ghana, set up a business in Ghana, and still face the same challenges that a diaspora will go back and face. So it's a problem that, cuts across. The only difference, I think, that sometimes, diasporans could could bring on board is an approach of how they do business. But before they even do that, what I think is what some of the things that we forget is that once you've left a place for a very long time, you don't necessarily understand the culture on the ground. So what I would say to people is that being Ghanaian doesn't necessarily mean you understand the culture on the ground, especially if you have moved and been away for some time. So you need to really spend time to get back into the culture, to understand some of the cultural thinking.
How much time do you need to do that?
You need a long time. It's a period of time, but depending on what you want to do, you make sure that you're in the right different environments that allows you to understand what's happening on the ground. So, for example, if you want to deal with, let's say, market women, you need to spend time with market women and understanding how they think, why they think a certain way, why some processes are happening that way for you to be able to get into the business of working with them. If you go straight away and you think, oh, you've seen this problem, you want to solve it, my friend, you get burnt.
They will show you that they are the overlords of the land.
Exactly, because you don't understand it. It's like the local language. You don't really understand the local language and local dynamics. And so I always say, when I advise people to, move back home, I'm like, listen, go there like you go and prepare like you would go to China, because you're Ghanaian doesn't matter. So the same preparation you will have like you are going to China, Italy, to go and live a new life or to set up something is the same mindset you need to have for Ghana. What is it that you don't know? How do you get to know it? Because, your mother is Ghanaian, your uncle is there and everything. That should not let you neglect your due diligence and getting to understand how the local system works. With that, understand the local system, local psyche, how people think, why they do what they do, will help you to integrate a bit better. I mean, I'll give an example. This thing about Ghana time that we talk about. There's actually...
I was just going to ask you about it. So
you get about Ghana time. I mean,
we can't have a conversation without Ghana time.
Yes, Ghana time. So the thing with Ghana time is actually there's lots of research around it about it's a thing that is part of our culture, and it's a lot around like some African cultures as well, actually, where we value relationships over time, and we feel that time is more fluid, that you can do a lot more things in a go. So for example, I have a meeting with you, but whilst coming to the meeting, my uncle calls me and says that he needs something urgently. At that point, a Ghanaian values you as well, but the relationship with the uncle will conflict.
Right.
So he, in his mind, he thinks that he can sort out the uncle. Then after that, he comes and meets you, and he expects you to understand, those dynamics. So in saying that, if you have a meeting with somebody, like you're a diaspora, just be a bit flexible. If the person says 10:30, 12, like just be flexible. You know that
10:30,
12. Like, so you know that you're giving yourself find something else to do so that you're not disappointed.
Thankfully, we have mobile phones now, so you can track movements and then see what. But another dimension, another side of the time is where you also encounter a lot of wastage.
Oh yeah,
a lot of wastage of the time, even when you have arrived at whatever that needs to be done, and like the time just gets wasted. I remember when I was in Ghana for my father's funeral a couple of months back, and my first baptism of that was when I wanted to get an MTN number. Oh my goodness! In the UK, if you need a number, if it's a pay-as-you-go SIM, you just walk into the shop. In less than 5 minutes, you're out. If it's a contract, you hop on the phone. They do everything in, let's say, it will take you about 20 to 30 minutes to go through credit check and all that kind of thing, depending on what you are getting, whether it's with a device or it's just the SIM, and then the next day is delivered to you. You are done. Now, I went to an MTN shop and I had to spend about 5 hours to get seen. So that is to get seen. And when I got seen, well, the whole process took about 10 minutes, which is amazing. But I was wondering, why should I be in a whole conglomerate like MTN, one of your superstores. Why should I be there for 5 hours to get seen for a 10-minute service? And like, so have these companies not evaluated the processes that needs to go on within their shops and improve, make it very efficient and streamlined? But then everybody say, "Welcome to Ghana." So I don't know. In your experience, you have written a book on moving back to Ghana. I'm sure you've psyched up readers for some of these things. But is there any way that there can be baby steps towards change, even if it needs to start with one or two companies? Is this possible at all?
No, of course it is, and we have to. I mean, because I would like to have a balanced conversation. We
Mm.
have to have a balanced conversation and say that there are actually companies there that are doing this with speed, right?
Okay.
So you cited, telecom. I mean, I've had the experience with banks where you can sit at home, open a bank account, and the card gets delivered to you within the time that they promise. So there are different experiences.
Okay.
Obviously, there are the challenges of you experiencing 4 hours. That's unacceptable. However, I would also say that some of these companies do have processes in place. However, the sometimes the human capital in the shop that are causing the problems. They know everything that they need to do, but they are not following the due processes. But in saying that as well, another key thing that we need to be mindful of as diasporans when we go back home to do anything is that relationships is such a big deal, right?
Okay.
So making sure that you build relationships whilst you're here in the diaspora, so when you get back home, relationship can help you. So I'm saying that in reference to your SIM card that you wanted. If you had some sort of relationship with somebody, it shouldn't always be in that case, but I'm just saying that helps, because that also helps with your sanity.
It's a unique dynamic to the society.
It's a unique dynamic. So you could have just easily called your friend and Massa, I'm in town, I need a SIM. It would have arranged with one of their shops, gotten ready for you. When you get there, your ID, whatever, they know you're there. It shouldn't always be the case, but I'm just saying that that's part of our fabric.
It is.
The good thing is that it's quite easy to build these relationships. I would say to people, like when I'm back home and I need to do some serious banking, and this is probably a trick I'm putting out there, I just walk into the bank and I ask to speak to the bank manager. I go and then I befriend the bank manager and I cross my leg and I say what I want. The bank manager will call all the staff to do what I want, and I walk out, having made a friend with the bank manager, and I'm out.
Especially when you are a diaspora.
I tell you, rather than going to sweat myself and
it is
the banking pole.
It is an advantage. I mean, it's very true, because I remember this was way back then, but somewhere around 2017 when I went to Ghana. Then, one of the banks is defunct now, but it was in function, and at that time I had opened a diaspora account with them. So, in fact, the gentleman who I worked with at that time, who came here to the UK to promote the product, is a very good friend of mine, and I kept that relationship. So I remember those times. Anytime I'm going to any branch, he will say, "Call me." Before I get there, he's called the bank manager. This guy is coming to the bank, and I tell you what, and he add that he is our diaspora client. That one alone.
that gave you props.
That one alone settles it. I mean, I breeze through the service like nobody's business. So I understand, and I think this is something that we should all. I wish that it comes on a level of equity where everyone can really enjoy, and we will build the systems just as it's prevalent here in the UK. I'm mindful of the time. The last thing that I want to touch on is what would you say to someone? Obviously, you've mentioned pockets of it, but your top, let me say, give us 4. The rest, they should go and read the book. But your top 4 tips for somebody who is looking to relocate to Ghana and possibly set up something, having heard even if they are not relocating, they want to really do something back home. Having heard all these narratives, like the one Mr. Pablo Obindako has put up, generating a lot of conversation and all those things. So, what would you say? Your top 4 tips for them?
Sure. I mean, that's a very, very good one in terms of, people thinking of relocating or just going to do something, back home. I think the first thing is really taking your time to do your own research. But even on top of that, what I would say is that know your why. The first thing is know your why. Take time to do your research. Get on the ground yourself. It's so important that you get on the ground, no matter how much maybe research you might pay for other people to do it. Sometimes when you're on the ground yourself, it kind of, opens your eyes for you to actually spot some things, whether opportunities or challenges that maybe other people may not have spotted. So that's it. And then I would say the last thing is be patient.
Okay.
Be patient. Like, you need a lot of patience on the ground to be able to, excel. If you go with that mindset of, I can, in UK, I can get things done like that. It doesn't work that way. I mean, there's so much things that are obstacles that come in our way because of the kind of environment we live in. I mean, for example, if it rains heavily, somebody's not able to go to work. It is what it is.
You would not say that, oh no, in UK when it snows we go to work, so you need to come to. It's not happening.
Exactly. The systems are a bit different. And because I even remember when I lived in Ghana, I got stuck in my own compound with my own car because it had rained heavily, and I didn't have a paved compound. I had to call people to come and help me take out my car tire, for example. So imagine if that day I have a meeting. That's it. Half of the day is gone because I had to sort out my car tire. So that's what I would say, that know your why, do your research, get to the ground, and be patient.
And be patient.
And then everything will work out.
Those are invaluable information. 4 key tips for you if you are looking to relocate to Ghana, and you need to get Adwoa's book. Adwoa, I want you to go, but one thing, this is very important for me to ask this. It's not entirely related to this conversation, but in the wake of all the narrative and stories we've heard, for a lot of our friends and families, our people who have migrated from Ghana under this COS issue.
Oh yeah.
Somebody, would you say, or what would be your advice for someone who is thinking of maybe mobilizing 150,000 cedis, 150,000 Ghana cedis, 200,000 Ghana cedis, that they want to relocate abroad? They are, they've been giving COS and stuff. What would be your advice to that person?
I mean, what I would say is that if the CO is legit, then definitely come, because I think the thing is with traveling, gives you a lot of exposure, and I think that yes, if you can, do come. But I would say that specifically for a lot of people that don't have a lot of things going on for them in Ghana, right? Because if you don't have a lot of things going on for you, then it's
you want to explore in another territory.
Yes, then I think it's good to come. But then if you have a lot of things going for you, then it might be that you might have to think about it carefully, because you might get a big shock of your life, as people have sold their houses, cars and stuff, and they're well established back home, and they come and it's not what they had been promised. But I'm always up for people coming to explore, because I think that not everybody can be successful where they are based. There are some people that need to actually travel and migrate to be successful. So there's that element. But then if you can survive on your own continent as well, do that. Hence why we are obviously encouraging people to go back home. So if you come and you make a bit of money, pounds, euros, dollars, please go back and invest something back home.
Go back and invest. Adwoa, talk to us where we can get a copy of your book. Hey, Ani Osabute, I see you as I think.
Yes. Hello, bro. What's up?
Oh, you know Osabute, right? I worked with him.
Oh, who doesn't know him? He's an icon.
Also, award-winning CNN award-winning journalist. Now I don't know whether he's retired or he's just in the
No,
back.
it's not retired. He just, he handles special cases.
Right. So, Adja, tell us your book. Where can we grab a copy? Somebody thinking to relocate to Ghana, the things they need to know. How are they able to, get a copy and also reach out to you for consultancy and support?
Okay, thank you so much, Daniel, for this opportunity. So my book, Move to Ghana, 10 Practical Ways to Relocate to the Motherland, can be found on Amazon. Google it on Amazon and you should be able to find me. My name is Adwoa Agyeman. I'm also all over social media. So wherever platform, you find fit, whether Facebook, Instagram, I'm not on what do you call it? Is it,
LinkedIn?
what is it called now? TikTok. No, I'm on TikTok. But I'm not on Twitter. No, Twitter. Okay. I've left the scene, but LinkedIn, all of that, you'll be able to get hold of me, and happy to have a conversation with anybody who's thinking of moving or going to do business or just wanting to visit a bit more,
or wanting to get a land.
Yes, or wanted to get definitely. Yes.
Accra Connect, London Connect, those were iconic events you were holding in Ghana, but we don't hear of them anymore. Any plans to bring them back?
Hopefully when I'm back in Ghana, I mean, I've kind of split my time more and I'm more in London, but yeah, I mean, Accra Connect, it's a beautiful event that brings together, diasporans and local Ghanaians, on the ground and professionals to come together, network, and just it's sort of like a soft cushion. So we allow people to land in Accra and connect with locals on the ground and kind of just help them to kind of navigate the system. You really need somebody to help you to navigate the system.
If someone who has charted the path and then can actually hold your hand to avoid bumpy bumpy roads. Good. Osa is saying that active and still writing mostly everyday people issues. The book is a masterpiece. I encourage everyone who wishes to invest back home to pick it up. Osa, definitely.
Thank you. Let me really use this opportunity to thank him, because when I launched the book 3 years ago, he did a whole lovely piece and really helped me to promote the book to a wider audience. So I'm grateful, Annie. I'm grateful.
Awesome. This has been exciting. It looks like the fire for me to reignite the Facebook Live sessions is back now. And I must say that you are my very first guest at this comeback.
Wow.
But we will be moving. I don't know, maybe the gospel people will come back, but for now we will look at issues around travel, business, and mostly immigration. It's been a huge success on TikTok, and the intervention is phenomenal. Actually, we hear stories every day. We've had your legal answers with lawyer Abena for 1.5 years, and with over 100 people with positive immigration response from the Home Office. It's just been amazing.
No, it's a good work that you're doing. It's really good work and it's needed. So continue the conversation.
Thank you. He says, Andy says, I'm still his boss. Thank you, Adwoa. And for everyone who also wants to get the knowledge on how to avoid some of these visa scams, my ebook is out. The dangers of dealing with visa agents, how to protect yourself, and you learn the tips, the tricks, and the tips, and you avoid getting your hands burned, because traveling, like Adwoa, you've said, it's a very good thing, depending on where you are in life, what you want to do, but you need to travel right. That's what I've been saying of late. Travel right, make sure you have the right information, do your research, get as much information as possible, connect with all these professionals. Adwoa is here. You can reach out to her. Hey, I want to relocate to the UK. You've lived here. You've lived in Ghana. What are the things that I should do? And one of those reasons why, in fact, this I think in the first week or the second week in August, a couple of us are coming back to Ghana to hold a Life Abroad Knowledge Seminar. So if you can catch us in Kumasi, please do. Yeah, come and meet us in person. Let's have a conversation, and I know it will be great. Adwoa, thanks for your time this evening. Have a lovely time. I'm gonna shift now because I have a TikTok live session. We're going to talk about teaching in the UK. So if you can head over there and join us, that would be fantastic. But Adwoa, take care and have a good evening.
Thank you.
Right. Okay. Right, people. So it's been great, wonderful conversation. I love it. I love it. And I think I need to keep this going. Annie, Osabute, thank you for coming to support me. I see all the people on here have been my friends on the media, all those who have commented. Matthew, I see you. Kente Kufo as well. We worked at ABN Radio in London. I worked with Matthew at both at Radio Valcon, I think at Good News FM at some point. Yeah, I think so. So great guys that you've come on to support this work. Share. Social media thrives on engagement, so if you share this broadcast or this stream for other people to watch and be, because I'm a Christian, I always say blessed. Let other people be watched and be blessed and be inspired, be energized, and most importantly, be informed. It's absolutely important. I find a huge gap in the in information, especially for people who want to relocate to the UK. The stories that we hear every day are very disheartening and they are heartbreaking. If you are thinking of traveling, make sure that you grab a copy of my ebook and then you connect with people like Adwoa Agyeman, and also make sure you engage the services of a UK-based lawyer, so that when you come here, that is, if you want to settle, if you're coming for a visit, you don't have any problem. I mean, you can do visit for visit visas, make sure you are going through the right channels to do them, and you don't get yourself banned, because of late, if you present any fraudulent documents, you will be banned for 10 years. You will be banned for 10 years, and that affects your future immigration prospects. But go through the right channel, and that will be great. That would be great. So don't neglect using, or don't neglect using the services of a UK-based solicitor if you intend to come to the UK and settle, because your immigration journey goes beyond just making the entry clearance application. When you get into the country and you cross the port of entry, whether it's Heathrow Airport, Gatwick, Birmingham, Manchester, Stansted, City Airport, wherever the port of entry is, if you cross that place and you get into the system, from there on, your immigration journey begins. In fact, everything that you present to the Home Office is part of your immigration record, and that would aid or be a detriment to your final settlement when you are applying for indefinite leave to remain. So please make sure you are using the services of a UK-based immigration lawyer. I have one I can recommend, amazing, brilliant Ghanaian lawyer. She is phenomenal. We are on TikTok live every Wednesday and Thursday evening. If you have a TikTok account, do join us there. It's called Your Legal Answers with Lawyer Abena. So with their help and a few other people, and of course through elaborate research, the ebook is out. Grab a copy. It's right on my page, and you would enjoy it. So people, have a wonderful evening, and thank you to all who join us. Let's make this same time, I don't know, another time. I will have to think about making this consistent, and I'm not too sure. I just came live yesterday and I'm here today, so who knows, we might have another time sometime this week, or if not, we'll try and do the same time next week. Have a wonderful evening. Goodbye.